there's someone in our camp. I'm not sleeping after that. What is that? Why? Why would he say that? Did he hear something? Did he see something? Did he feel something? What's up, Red Fam? Today I want to explore another scary, terrifying, bone-chilling Reddit thread where users share their scariest hiking/camping stories. Oh yeah, something about being alone in the woods. You know, not very protected by a thin piece of fabric between you and the outside world where creepy things can be lurking. Real fun, so let's get to it. My buddies and I were camping in the woods in Yosemite, California. We were the only ones in the area, and we knew this because of the camping registry. We were quite literally the only ones in a 20-mile radius. That is too secluded for me, y'all. I can't. I used to love camping, and I've said this before in previous videos talking about scary camping stories. I loved camping. I have great memories as a child camping in the woods, but the idea of camping now in the woods, I've seen the Blair Witch Project, I've seen too many other ones similar to it. No. Too scary, too afraid of getting lost, too afraid of encountering something scary, too afraid of just a lot of things in the woods that are lurking, you know? So I'm gonna pass. Anyways, everything was great and normal, and our campsite was on the side of a lake. At night, we all shared an 8-man tent, and you know, you think that'd make me feel better, but it doesn't. It was cozy with 8 guys in a tent, but not horrible. Anyway, at about 3 a.m. the first night, we were all suddenly awoken by one member of our group standing up in the tent and frantically trying to open the tent door. That is giving me like shivers down my spine. That is giving me goosebumps. All I'm thinking about is literally Blair Witch and how it's like controlling of someone's behavior. Okay. He poked out his head and began super frantically and nervously saying, "There's someone in our camp. There's someone in our camp. There's someone in our camp." I'm not sleeping after that. What is that? Why? Why would he say that? Did he hear something? Did he see something? Did he feel something? Does he have like some sort of psychic capabilities to where he can pick up on something's lurking, you know, in the nearby radius? Oh no. This is literally the start of a horror movie, and I've seen too many with this premise to be okay with the situation. He kept on repeating it, and he sounded absolutely terrified. Oh my god, I'm literally getting so many goosebumps in my body right now. Needless to say, we were all super terrified that someone might actually be in our camp, because we knew that we were supposed to be all alone up here. Everyone who had just been woken up was looking at each other with mortified looks on our faces. He has appropriate response there. After about 15 seconds of saying that someone was in our camp, he laid back down like nothing had happened and went to sleep. Turns out he was sleepwalking, and there was actually no one in our camp. It was hard to sleep after that. Yeah, safe to say no one would have a good night's sleep after that, besides that guy that was sleepwalking. You know, I still wouldn't trust it, because like Blair Witch Project had a very similar premise, you know, where they were doing things that they were unaware of, you know, not by their own choice, or they didn't quite understand why they were doing it. And it turns out it was because, spoiler alert, there was a witch in the woods. I would straight up be thinking that, and you know, if it was a one night type situation, okay, I'll stay up and be miserable the next day, but like, I'll survive, you know? If it was a multi-day situation, I am not staying there. No, this is when it happened. Even if there was nothing there and he was just genuinely sleepwalking and having like a nightmare and didn't like mean anything he said, I would not feel comfortable waiting the next night, like waiting around for him to do the same thing again. Because like, how do they truly know someone wasn't there? You know what I mean? Like, yeah, if there was no obvious signs that someone was there, like they didn't steal anything, they didn't break anything, they never made contact again after that night, okay, I get how you could make that conclusion, but my paranoid butt would not be thinking that. I'd be thinking, okay, someone's lurking here. Maybe they got spooked off for some reason. Maybe they just wanted to intimidate us. Maybe they're just snooping around. Maybe they didn't have an opportunity yet to do ill will onto us. Yeah, I would not feel safe. I was hiking the Appalachian Trail northbound in early August a few years ago, and I was a day out of Davenport Gap, heading to Hot Springs, North Carolina. I don't remember the exact shelter I was at, but I know it was north of Max Patch. This time of year, there aren't many people on the trail, and other than a couple cars at Max Patch, I haven't seen or spoken to another person in a full day. I decided to end my hike for the day at about 7 p.m. so I could eat dinner and prepare for bed before dark. Oh gosh, the idea of not only being alone, but for being alone that long. Like once if you get hurt and then you're like stranded or you can't get help, or you know what I mean? Like there's so many things that could go wrong during something like this. I was also filming a little diary of my hike as a gift to my sister. That's really cute. I ate filmed, reloaded my water, and hit the hay right as it got dark and the crickets came out. At about 2:30 a.m., I was startled awake, but not by a noise, by the lack of one. Oh my god, what? Okay, that gave me goosebumps. What does that mean? I didn't hear the toads, the crickets, the owls, anything that you'd expect to hear at night, and something that this person would know what to hear because they've been hiking this trail. I looked around but saw nothing. Nothing. Didn't see any animals, didn't see any people. Everything was perfectly still. So much to the point that you would feel unnerved. Something's freaky about that. You know, the world outside is very loud, especially in nature. Then and there, I made the decision that I had to get out of there. I packed all my gear in about 5 minutes, threw on my headlamp, grabbed my bear bag, and noped my way out of there onto the trail. I'm pretty sure I averaged 4 miles per hour in the pitch black until sunrise. So 4 miles per hour, if you don't know, like if you have no relation to what that means, that's a really fast walk. It's like not quite running. No, actually I would say that's a jog. That's a jog for some people. So this person was jogging with their full gear at night, which is incredibly dangerous to do because you can trip, you can hurt yourself, you can run into an animal. There's just like a lot of things that can happen, and you know, obviously an experienced hiker would not make that decision lightly. So that means he was so terrified by the eeriness of the stillness of the night, this sudden calm that shouldn't be there, that he felt the need in his bones to get out of there. That is so scary. To this day, I have no idea what was out there, but I know something was. Who knows what would have happened had I stayed until sunrise? Maybe nothing, but I wasn't sticking around to find out. Ooh, but to be so afraid of whatever it was that you chose to leave your shelter to run around in the woods at night, that's a big fear you had. And maybe it was for the best. Now moving on to the last Reddit post that we're going to read from this thread, and I don't think I mentioned it, but like always in like previous videos when we dive into Reddit threads, there are so many more comments, posts on each thread that we don't cover because there's really large threads and we're only covering like a handful. So as always, if you'd like to explore this thread on your own, I will leave a link in the video description so that you can go do that. Oh god, that like last story has my heart racing. I don't think anyone gets more scared of my videos than I do. Please give this video a big thumbs up if you're enjoying it so that I have some form of comfort. I went tenting with a few mates about a year ago. We set up 2 tents on the side of a mountain. Okay, it's a lot of seclusion, don't like that. At night, the 3 of us in our tent woke up to something scratching the nylon. Okay, that is literally the most terrifying thing that could happen during camping. So you're telling me that something, an animal, a person, a creature, regardless, was out there dragging its claws, its hands, its paws, whatever you want to call it, against your tent? I think my heart would stop beating at that moment because it had to be loud enough for them to wake up to it. So it's not like a slight like twig branch brushing against it. It had to be like deliberate, repeated scratches. Oh no, oh no, oh no. It was about 3 feet from the ground and it just kept on dragging something against the side of the tent. So do they mean like their tent itself was 3 feet off the ground in like a hammock style situation? I've seen that before. You know, people do that, I think, to stay away from like the moisture on the ground and then also from animals, right? So they're saying something was able to reach that high and scratch against their tent 3 feet off the ground, but didn't manage to like shred their tent because they didn't mention anything about, you know, any rips or tears in their tent. And like they didn't see it in the morning, so it only stuck around at night. What could that possibly be? I mean, rationally, you could say maybe it was a bear, you know, looking for food. Maybe they had some food on them. But for it not to rip the tent would be kind of shocking, right? Because I would think the bear with his claws would shred open the tent to try to get the food. And then they also in their post didn't mention hearing any like snorting noises or like growls or anything animalistic like that. So just scratching, which makes me think it's like a person or something creepier like that. You know what I mean? Not so much an animal, because I think you would hear the sounds that the animal would make. No? Oh, that's a weird one. What could that be? Okay, well, you know, I love covering these camping, hiking stories because just the idea of being secluded in the wilderness, encountering something scary is very scary. Because is it an animal, which is scary, or is it something else, which is scary? What would you rather have? Would you rather a scary encounter be with an animal or with a creature or a creepy person? Both sound awful, but you know, at least with an animal it's to be expected. You're in the wilderness, you know, you're in their territory. Oh, that's such a creepy thought. But I think that does it for today's little deep dive into the scary Reddit thread. If you liked it, please give this video a big thumbs up so I know you enjoyed it and want to see more Reddit thread scary stories. And if so, leave a suggestion down below of maybe what kind you want us to see us explore, like camping stories or work stories or school stories, things of that nature. And if you haven't yet seen it, here on the screen is a video I posted previously if you missed it and want to go catch up on some binge watching of spooky content. And until next time, keep it the radness and I'll see you real soon. Bye! Now that I have Mr. Charlie, how could I ever go camping? I can't leave him. Look how much he needs me right now. I need him, actually.